afternoon, everyone. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Today we're going to have some fun because we're going to mix some old products from the past with some newer products in our collection and make some very fast holiday cards and tags. But before we get started, I'm hearing like chairs falling over there. Let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
I'm okay.
Are you okay?
It's the wheel problem.
Sounded like you fell over in your chair.
Happy crafternoon, everybody. Glad to be here and glad you're here with us all.
It's so cold today.
It is cold. And by the way...
Feels like -7.
It does?
Yeah.
Where?
The wind chill.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
By the way, I noticed a few cans of your shaving cream in your craft area. I confiscated one for the purpose for which it was originally intended.
Well, you're always welcome to the shaving cream or any of the cleaning supplies that are in here, my iron, the Swiffer dusters, whatever you need.
I just got to let you know that it's gone, right?
Yeah, that's all.
So
I just need to know.
During a live, you don't find out that it's gone.
Well, I hope you put it to good use.
I shall.
Well,
keep myself presentable.
Do you have a word of the day?
I have 3.
You have 3?
3 related words of the day. You remember, sometimes I do that.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be a good day today.
Well, we'll see.
All right, well, let's get started right away. So I'm going to be doing some techniques that include backgrounds and stencils. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of foiling, but you don't have to do foiling for this. You could do the same kind of technique with embossing powder. And I'm also going to do one of them with embossing powder just so that we can kind of get the feel for that as well. Does that sound good?
That sounds delightful.
All right.
Let's launch it.
All right, let's go. Okay, so I'm going to start with, let's see, I grabbed a few stencil sets, some old ones. I grabbed the Stellar Snowflake. That is an oldie but goodie, and I bet almost everybody in the chat, if you've been with Gina K Designs for any period of time, you probably have this stencil. It's just one of those classic, easy-to-use stencils. And then I have the Perfect Poinsettia layering stencil set. That is the 4-piece layering stencil. I thought that would be a fun one to use. And then I've got the Christmas flowers. This is a little bit more of a delicate type of poinsettia, different than our new modern poinsettia. This is a more realistic poinsettia, but still a little more graphic. This is the most realistic poinsettia. And then this one, of course, is just a single stencil that we're going to use today. And before we go any further, I just want to do a big shout out to Brianne Loveland for being here today. Thank you, Brianne, and thank you for helping us find things. And also, Brianne actually helps me because sometimes I don't have things labeled because I'm not very good at cleaning up, and she's always there to tell me what something is called. You know, I mean, after 17 years of product releases, monthly product releases, I really do forget sometimes what things are called. That happens sometimes, right?
Huge help.
Yes.
Huge help. And while we're shouting out, big shout out to the guys from One Click. We're here today.
One Click Wisconsin is our IT company.
Yes, Kyle and Jacob were here switching out some equipment under the gun for the live start at noon. They were just back there making magic in the EMF, the electromagnetic fields, and making it all work. Many thanks, guys. You guys are great.
I was pretty nervous because it was like 5 minutes to 12 and I still didn't have internet. And I'm like, Tom? And he's like, they said they would do it. It'll be done at noon. And they were. They're great. They're awesome. Okay, so I have a couple background stamps here. I have Close Knit and I also have Elegant Script background stamp. And then I have this Poly-Glaze set here. This is called Flurries, and you guys have seen me use this one before. And then this was just sitting out on my desk, so I figured why not use it? And then I thought I would once again use some of the the holiday floral greetings because they're just so beautiful. And you know, if we're gonna do this fast, if we're gonna make fast cards and tags today, we might as well make them absolutely beautiful but really quick. And I just have to grab one more thing from way over here. Let me grab it. I'll be right back. Sorry. I found it. Here it is. The Holiday Floral Stamp and Die Collection, because I am going to use the coordinating dies to cut out the words today. And see, that's what I get. I didn't put it under H. That's why it took me a while to find it over there. And then for dies, I thought I would use Master Layouts too for the cards, but I thought I would use the Tags Trio dies to make a big tag too, because this is kind of like tag making crunch time and gift card holder crunch time. So tags are always a good one. And this, I like this big tag because it can also fit a gift card in here. So if you wanted to like do two of them together and then cut it in half to slip a gift card in, I'll do that today. Although, Tom, do you have a gift card close by that I might be able to use for this? Maybe?
A gift card.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to use a credit card. We'll use a gift card. So I want to first get a piece of white cardstock, and this is a quarter sheet of cardstock. I want to make sure that this tag die is going to fit, and it will. So I think I'll start with this. Now, I don't know if this one is going to work, but I really feel the need to try it. So I'm going to use the... here it is, the close-knit background stamp. And I thought I would do some Emboss-resist on this. And I'm going to use our Gina K Designs Embossing and Watermark ink. Now, of course, you can use Versamark. You can use any kind of embossing ink that you have. And yes, my stamp is very, very stained in blue. You can see that because I've used blue with this quite a bit. But that's okay. I'm also going to use my heat tool, and I'm going to use some of the Gina K Designs Fine Detail White Embossing Powder. I have mine just in a Glad container, like kind of one of those Ziploc-y kind of things. Just because I use white so much that I have several jars in here, and it just makes it easier to use. But, of course, if you don't have that, you can just use a folded piece of cardstock and do it that way. Just sprinkle it right over there. Okay, so I am going to start by inking up this close-knit background. Tom went to go see if he can find a gift card. I know my voice gets real soft, Stephanie, when I walk away. I know I have to walk to the other side of the room because of the way everything is set up in here. I know it looks kind of big, but it's really small. And so I don't have things conveniently next to me, so I have to kind of walk to the other side of the room, so I just kind of disappear and fade out. All right, I really want to make sure this is inked up well. I think that's pretty good. Now I am going to get my embossing magic pad, and I'm just going to rub that over the surface of this. That's just going to remove any static, and boy, is it staticky right now in the winter here. Ooh, thanks, Tom. Tom brought me some gift cards. All right. Can I keep those?
Yes.
Now I'm going to lay that piece of cardstock down. I'm just going to use the clear sheet from that background stamp to help me just, you know, rub all over the surface of this cardstock to make sure it makes contact with the stamp. Did you say I could keep them?
Yes, you're welcome to those. I think they're all spent.
Oh, okay, thanks. All right. That's great. I appreciate it. Tom went dashing down the hall to his office to find those. I appreciate that. Okay. So I think that's good. I think we made good contact there. So now I'm going to peel this up. I really hope this one works. I like to do techniques live without knowing if they work or not. That's kind of one of my my crazy things. Oh, I love this so much. I wish you guys could see how pretty it looks white on white. That's a little hard to see on the camera, but boy, it just gives you the most beautiful texture. Can you see the texture in here, down here? Isn't that gorgeous? Just white on white with this background stamp is unreal. Okay, so I'm going to just let my heat tool heat up for just a minute or two. And then, oh, welcome everybody. I see you all coming in. It's so great to see you. Crafternoon Live, lunchtime, little crafting. All right, and then I'm just going to hit this with the heat tool to get that nice and shiny. And I think I'm going to do this with a blue color. So maybe Turquoise Sea, sea glass, something like that, like a teal would be good for this card, this tag that I'm going to make. All right, I'm going to hold it up here. I think it's all right. But isn't that pretty? Tone on tone. You know, we forget how nice that looks, just doing a tone on tone. And you can do this with any color cardstock tone on tone just by using clear embossing powder instead of the white. So, you know, try it on craft. It's such a beautiful look. Okay, so let's see if we can catch all of this shine now. Can you see this here? I know that's hard to see, but boy, is that ever pretty. Okay, so, and hello and welcome. See, I was right, Tom. All over the world, people are coming in. Now I'm just going to put a little tape back here just to secure that down. And then, you know, you always want to make sure that everything is completely embossed before you do Emboss-resist. But that is such a great impression. Sometimes, you know, you worry about clear stamps being as good as rubber stamps, but these clear background stamps are phenomenal. They just stamp so well. Welcome, welcome. All right, now I'm going to use the big snowflake here, and I'm going to take it to just about here. And then I'm going to put some Post-it notes over here because I'm not sure if, you know, if I got a great impression right along the side. So I'm coming in a little bit. And then my goal here is when I cut this, to cut it so that I get like a good portion of that snowflake in here from the side. You know what I mean? In fact, I'm going to move it down a little bit too. There we go. Just like that. And then I'm going to tape it down with some pixie tape. So I'll pixie tape it over here. And I'll pixie tape it over here. And then I think I'll use, I just have these big, bright Post-it notes here. And I'll just put those around here just to protect the outside. I'm really mostly concerned with the top and the side. Not, obviously, I don't have to worry about the bottom. Okay. Now let's pick a color to use. Let me get my ink stand. Now we could do one color or we could do a blend. So we have Turquoise Sea. We could do a blend of like Turquoise Sea and Wild Lilac. So we get a little bit of purples. I like the cool tones for this snowflake.
Question from Joanne. How do you clean your embossing ink? Same way?
Oh, yeah. I use the tidy towel just to get rid of it. But if it starts to feel like it's not getting a good impression because the ink is dried on there, I just take it to the sink with like an old toothbrush and a little bit of Dawn dish detergent. And I just scrub it and then rinse it with warm water. And it's good as new then. Not your toothbrush, Tom.
Tried that already, huh?
Anymore. I don't use that anymore. Since we discussed it. Okay, so I'm going to just tape this down right here so it doesn't lift up. So I'm going to start with some Turquoise Sea. And let me get a turquoise blending brush here. All right. So I'm using the ink stand here to hold my ink, and this is by Brianne Loveland's company called the Ink Stand Shop. So check them out. I saw, Brienne, that my package is getting ready to be packed. I'm very excited. I just ordered some more ink stands from Brienne. Okay, so I'm going to just randomly ink over some of this area here. Oh, this is cool. I'm going to have a sweater snowflake. Isn't that fun? So this close-knit background is a little bit of a newer product in our collection. And the Stellar Snowflake is very, very old in our collection. We've had it forever. I think it was one of our first winter stencils. Okay, so now I'm going to mix a little bit of the purple in here. This is the Wild Lilac. Ooh, I see other people have ink stands out for delivery too. Very fun. And then we'll get some purple in there, and we're going to overlap so that we get a little bit of a wisteria color between them, like a periwinkle almost. I think this is so pretty. I'm going to do more of the Turquoise Sea. Get a little purple up here. We can go, you know, as dark as we want. Kind of want to alternate and get at least some of the legs of the snowflake to be purple and then some of them to be turquoise. And it's just that mixing back and forth that's so pretty. It's kind of fun. Okay, let's see what this looks like now. It's so fun to do a pattern. So we'll pull this off. And we'll pull this off. And look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh, I really like that. That's so pretty. Now I'm just going to take a paper towel and I'm going to rub over the surface here just to get any ink that is kind of resting on top there. There we go.
You remember the word of the day, the phrase of the day we had one time to describe the feeling of waiting for your order?
I can't remember the word.
Someone suggested we come up with a phrase to describe that, and we came up with, in transit, can't stands it.
Yes, that's right. So I'm going to use just a little bit of whatever's left on this brush. I'm just brushing that off just to add a little bit of color in here to accent the center a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this out with the die cutting machine. I'm going to use the tag die to cut this out. So let me get my intricate. In transit, can't stands it. Feels like a Seinfeld thing. Okay. And then I'm going to line this up right there like that. And cut it. Everybody's being so patient. I feel so bad for you guys up in Canada with your postal strike. It's the worst time ever. I thought for sure it would be over by now. That's got to be so hard. I like that. That's got to be tough during the holidays. So just a reminder to anybody from Canada who has an order with us, we are holding your order until your strike is over. But if you don't want us to hold it anymore, all you have to do is reach out to customer service and just let them know that you want us to ship it, and we'll ship it by UPS. The problem with UPS and the reason why we decided to hold it is because UPS charges our Canadian friends a fee. I forget what they call it. It's some kind of fee that they charge to be like the broker. And so it's extra that you guys have to pay to get your order out of customs. And I know a lot of people, you don't want to pay that, and I don't blame you for not wanting to pay that. So we made the decision to just hold all of the orders, and then if, somebody decided that they just couldn't wait anymore, then, they could call customer service and we would go ahead and ship it by that way. So, yeah, the brokerage fee. Thank you. The brokerage fee.
There's the Canadian version of in transit can't stands it.
Yes.
Not in transit can't stands it.
That's
Thank you,
worse.
Misty.
That's worse. Oh, terrible time of the year for that. All right, you can see I cut 3 tags out using this, 3 of these using the tag trio. Okay. So I'm just going to pop this up here for a minute. And then what I'm going to do is to make this a more sturdy tag and to make it prettier, because this has a stitched line. I don't know if you could see the stitched line going around, but stitches are always pretty on the front side, but they always look a little kind of ratty on the back side. So I'm going to go back to back with these so the tag looks pretty on both sides, and also it thickens up the tag a little bit. And I'm just using some of our adhesive dot runner for that. Okay. And then, there we go. And then I'm going to cut this to make a little gift card holder. So this will be a little gift card tag. Actually, I think this year I am going to get my kids a bunch of gift cards instead of a bunch of like little gifts. I'm just going to get them some little gift cards that they can use. I'm going to make this 2 3/4 of an inch. Because, kids today, I mean, money's tight, and the truth is that if they really need something, they can get it, but the stuff that I get them are all kind of wants and not really needs, but I think that, like, it would really be more helpful to have, like, some grocery store gift cards and gas gift cards and things like that. So I think I'm going to do that, but I'm going to put them on these tags and just hang them all over the tree, and they can kind of find their name. I think that would be cute. Okay, so I'm just using some of the Gina K Designs Terrific Tape. And this is the 1/8 inch Terrific Tape, so it's pretty skinny. And I'm just running it down the sides here. I'll trim off. It is a terrible tape, which is nice. Not terrible, terrible. So that could sound like Wisconsin saying terrible, but it's easy to tear, is what I am trying to say without a Wisconsin accent. It's terrible. Okay, and then I'm just doing some along the bottom. Remember, don't do it along the top or they won't be able to open it. Or you won't be able to open it. And then I'm just using my finger to really put pressure on that to make sure that that is stuck there. And then I'll just peel off the liners. And I'm going to pop this onto the bottom, and that's going to create a little pocket for me. But all the stitches are going to line up really nicely. So just kind of get it into place before I press. That looks pretty good. And now I can, use my finger to put the pressure on it.
Jeanette wants to know, which trainer do I use to cycle inside during the winter? Little sidebar.
Oh.
I think it's a really old Cyclops. It's old. So getting a little rickety, but then so am I.
So
but
it's
still
working out?
But it still works.
So Tom gave me a $100 Amazon card here, so I can throw that. So you can see how that fits right in there. It's just a cute way to display your gift cards. And then we just need like a greeting. I'm not going to use this one because it's red, but we'll do a few greetings at the end and pop them on there. So I will use, I bought this big string of yarn. It's not really yarn. It's like string. And I forget where I got it. I feel like I may have gotten it at like Walmart or something, you know, because I don't care what store I'm in. If they have a craft section, I have to go look. So I just doubled that and doubled it again. And I have a loop here. And I'm going to throw that through. I like the white string, having a big thing of white string, because you can color it with Copic markers. You can color it with your dye ink pads. Just, you know, run it through the re-inker or run it over the pad a couple of times, and you can make it any color that you want. And I don't use enough baker's twine and stuff to, like, have all the different colors. I tend to only use it during the holidays. I also got this Au Frais ribbon that you can get pretty much at any craft store. Probably got it at Walmart too at the same time. I don't remember. I've had it for a while and it was in my home craft space. So I only pull it out during the holidays, really, because I don't use a lot of ribbon and stuff otherwise. So that's why I like the white. But I like to kind of decorate the tag with a little extra ribbon. Let's see here. This is fun. There we go. Looks all right. And then we'll put a little bit of embellishments on here, and we'll do a gold greeting and some, I think those gold pearls will look really cute on here, but that'll be a really cute little tag to hang my one of the gift cards on the tree. And of course you can do them like, I could say, okay, Rena, you look for all the ones that are in pink, because pink is her favorite color. Alicia, you look for all the ones that are red, because red is her favorite color. So, you know, we could do them that way. Could do them any way that you want. If you just want to match your decor, you can do that as well. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside, and we'll put the greetings on there at the end. Now the next one I want to do this elegant script background. So I'm going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to need a piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to use my embossing magic pad over the surface of this. And this one I think is going to be really pretty. It's super delicate, so I think it would be pretty for that smaller, let's see here, where's the smaller one? This one, the Christmas flowers. I think it'll be good for this. I think that'll be a nice combination. So again, I'm going to use some embossing and watermark ink. Yeah, Rena's favorite color is, she's got two favorite colors, pink and yellow. They're her two favorite colors. So anything I get for Rena has to be pink and yellow, or pink or yellow. And then Alicia likes black, red, and gold. They're her favorites. Rena likes gold too. I generally am a silver person, but every once in a while I'll do gold. But I like gold in my card making. Isn't that funny? Okay, I think we're good here. I want to make sure I get it far enough over, though. I know it seems like I'm really taking a long time. Alrighty. And then you can see the way I use these background stamps. I just keep them on their back. I lay the piece of cardstock on top, and then I use that clear acetate sheet to kind of add pressure to it. And this allows me, you know, it's so easy compared to using the MISTI, because you can make sure that it gets contact everywhere without putting a ton of pressure on it. You know, you're basically just rubbing your fingers over it and making contact with the paper. I feel like I don't get the same level of contact when I use the MISTI with this. I have to put too much pressure on the lid, and this is just so easy. Alrighty, there we go. This you're not going to be able to see either, but of course we'll be able to see it when we do the flowers. So I want to do some reds with the flowers, definitely. So I think I'll use, I'll do the same combination that I did on Tuesday night with Coral Reef and Red Velvet. Coral Reef and Red Hot look really good together. That would be pretty too. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this one out with Master Layouts too. So again, this is hard to see until you get ink on it. You can see it in real life, but it's really hard with the lights for it to pick up on the camera. And our lights kind of like don't glare very much, and which is a good thing normally, but when you want to show shine and stuff like that, it doesn't really give you the true shine. Do you ever walk into a room that has like those recessed can lights, and you know, you have jewelry on and it just sparkles like crazy? That is the best lighting to look at glitter and stuff like that. But other lighting, like fluorescent lighting or even these LEDs that we have going here, don't show you that same shine. I like to craft at home and then go into the kitchen and look at everything, because we have the LED, the can lights in our kitchen. So, all right. Let's get this piece of paper in action again, and I'm going to get this out of the way. I'll clean them later, I promise. Maybe. And then we're going to pick those colors. So, let's see. Oh, they might still be out on the table. All right, I got to clean this here, this little string. We've got red velvet and we've got coral reef. And then we could go with more muted greens, like the medium spruce and the light spruce. I think that might be a pretty good look. Let's try that. All right, so I am going to attach this here to this piece of cardstock. And then we're going to go with the biggest stencil, or the one that's marked as number 1. This is over here on this side. It says Christmas Flower 1. And let's see. I think I'm going to go like to here, because I want to look at Master Layouts too. Let me grab this out of the package and see how this is going to look cut. Yeah, I think I'll cut it like that, and then we'll just put our greeting down in this area. Okay. So we'll get some pixie tape and tape this off, and we just want to make sure that, you know, we have the stencil with the writing facing us, and that just makes it easier when you're using all the other stencils. Okay, a red brush. Here we go. Clean off the red velvet that was on there from Tuesday. And now I'm going to use some coral reef for this. I feel like it's going to look so pretty. I love this kind of having something going on in the background and then stenciling on top. So this is just one of my favorite techniques. Oh, that is so delicate and pretty, isn't it? To see that happening. Oh, I like that. You could turn this into a tag also. If people, you know, if it's tag day, it would make a gorgeous tag. The snowflake, the sweater pattern is really pretty. Might be a little too much for some people, but this elegant script is really delicate. If you're really good, and I don't feel like I'm that good, you could try to stamp over the stencil without having it in the rest of the background, and then you could do it maybe gold embossed. But gosh, you know, I don't feel like I can get enough pressure to get it right up to the edge like that. So that's why I tend not to do that technique. But I know some people have the strength to really pull that off. Kind of going around. I like coral reef as a red. It makes a really nice light red. It's vibrant enough, that's for sure. Okay, so now let's add that second layer in there. And you know, if you want, you can wipe off everything before you actually like blot it, before you actually start like rubbing the color off. You can see it on there, right? This way it doesn't like smear the color onto the white parts of your card. So I'm just like blotting off the color that's resting on the embossing powder. All right. Now let's go to the next layer. Oh, that is pretty. Why is my my phone should be on Do Not Disturb. There we go. Okay, so this is layer 2, and you can find that down here at the bottom. Let's see if I can catch it in the shine. There it is, layer 2. And we can lay that right on top there. And then we can deepen this color with that red velvet. This is fun. This is super fun. Okay, I'm using the same brush. Got my red velvet in my ink stand. And here we go with layer 2. I don't have this one lined up right on the top though. I gotta move it just a little bit. Then I gotta move the whole thing. You know, it's better to take the time to place it right than to be frustrated. All right, here we go. Darker red in there.
All right. Question from Rose. What is the difference between pixie tape, masking tape, and terrific tape? If you could only buy one, which one?
Well, terrific tape is used for something completely different. So terrific tape is a very tacky tape, and that is used when you're trying to put things together that are more 3D elements that are more likely to kind of pop open if you don't have a strong enough tape. It comes in 3 different widths: 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/2 inch. And you use that for like boxes when you want to put boxes together, or like the back of that gift card holder like we did with the tag here, gift card holders and other 3D items. Pixie tape is a very low tack tape. You can see it like coming up here already. It's really good for holding things down, but you don't want to tear the paper. So it's a one-sided tape, where terrific tape is a 2-sided tape. And what was the other one she wanted to know, Tom?
Masking.
Masking tape. So masking tape.
Masking magic.
Oh, masking
pixie tape
magic.
and terrific tape.
So masking magic is what I would use right on the cardstock if I was blending over it, because you can really press it onto your cardstock and peel it up without it tearing the paper. Pixie tape I like to use to just kind of tack things down loosely, and masking magic or terrific tape is when you really want it to stick. Okay, so now we've got that little bit of darkness in there in the center. Love it. So I hope that helps. I can't just pick one because they're not used for the same thing. So, you know, picking just one would kind of limit me to not being able to do certain other techniques. But if I had to pick between pixie tape and masking magic, because you can use masking magic to tack things down, I would pick masking magic. Because masking magic is the best thing ever, in my opinion. It is the best low-tack tape ever. Okay, so now I'm going to use layer 3. And that's right down here. And we'll see where that goes. There we go. That's pretty easy to see. And we're going to use the light spruce on this one.
One thing that's neat about this type of crafting is the tiniest little thing, the most subtle little thing makes such a difference. It's kind of like music that way. You know,
yeah.
the littlest tiny
like that
technique,
little background, right?
Yeah, or just a little bit of shade of different color changes everything.
Mm-hmm. It really does. Let's do that. We'll do a little shade of a different color. All right, I don't have this one lined up properly down here. Not to worry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish these two, and then I'm going to shift this just a little bit. But before I do that, I'm going to get a detail blending brush and I'm going to add a little bit of medium spruce, since Tom said that, just along the bottom here. Just to prove you're right, Tom. That little bit of shading makes such a difference. You just see that come to life a little bit more. All right, now I'm just going to shift this a tiny bit just to get that leaf off the petal, and that's fine. I have a little bit of ink there, and just to be safe so that I don't mess it up, I'll just block off that leaf. So I'm going to go with the light spruce. It was my bad. I should have fixed it before I went. I wasn't paying close enough attention. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with the medium spruce. Just add that little bit of depth in here. Okay, now let's take that off. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's just so different with that texture in the background. And then we're going to go with this. This is layer 4. And this does all these fun dots all over the place. So we'll just get that into the right position. That looks pretty good. And we can do these dots in any color we want. So I'm thinking, like, let's do it in like some kind of yellow. Like honey mustard would be great, because honey mustard, let me find it. Honey mustard is kind of a good substitute for gold. So if you don't have a gold ink, but you want it to have a little gold appearance, that would be a great one. I don't have a yellow small brush, so I'm going to take a new brush. Sometimes they give me the ones that are crunched. Do you see how that's crunched on the side? They give me all the rejected things that they won't put into a package in our warehouse. But I don't mind using the rejected ones. They still work. And I like this because I can go just in the center here and just add that color. That'll lighten up a little bit too when it dries. And then I'm going to go with Turquoise Sea to add the other dots. I know I have a brush for that.
Pam would like to know, would those dots work with a glitz paste, or would the paste not stick to the embossed areas?
It would work, and it would look great. It's a great idea. Use glitz, glitter gel. You can use Simon Hurley's Astro or Solar Paste. You can use Decofoil Transfer Gel too, and when it dries, then you could run it through your fuse foiling machine and have a foiled design, which would be really pretty. I'm going to do a Decofoil Transfer Gel live. I just need prep time, because if I do something like that, you know, I want to have some panels already done and allow them some time to dry. So I've got that on my 2025 list of fun things to share. Okay, so now I'm going to pull that off. Oh, I love it.
Wow.
Look how pretty that is. Isn't that fun?
What's the name of that stencil again?
This is called Christmas Flowers. It's a really pretty one. And the thing that I love about this particular stencil is you can stop at just the flowers and the centers. Or you can just do the one layer of the big flower part and the leaves, and that's it. And you could add maybe some pearls in the center. So you don't need all 4 layers for it to show through. As a poinsettia, it looks great even just by using 1 layer or 2 layers. But it is really fun when you use all the layers too. All right, so I'm just blotting up the color without like rubbing it all over the place, because those little tiny ones would be hard to get the paper towel through, but you can see it's got like some color on there. All right, let's turn this one into a card, but I will show you quickly if I can find where I put it. Let me move my stencils. What this tag would look like. I think that would be a beautiful tag, don't you? Wouldn't that be pretty? Should I make it a tag? What do you think, Tom? Should I make that a tag?
Oh, I don't know. What would we be missing out on with the card?
I don't think anything, because I think the thing about tags is you can use a tag as a focal image for a card if you want. And anything that you see on a tag can be put on a bigger card base. So,
Well, all right.
so let's do it as a tag. Maybe the last one we'll make as a card. Maybe. I'll have to change my description on YouTube because I said holiday tags and cards, but everybody that's watching here, you guys, even if you're newer crafters, you know that, you can sub out, swap out tags and cards just by switching how you cut them out and what you do with them. So I think this is going to be a pretty tag, and I think I'll cut 2, and I'll just go back to thicken it up a little bit. Okay, I love seeing everybody wants a tag. The tag team can do a tag. All right. That's pretty. Ooh, love, love. Let me clean that out. I had to clean that hole out. And then I need another piece of white cardstock. I'm going through it. Let me get another piece here and just trim it down. I'm going to do it off camera since there's absolutely no space there, and I don't want to move the die cutting machine just to cut a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. So imagine in your mind that I'm cutting. There we go. So we're going to do a back-to-back again just to make it pretty on the back. I have 5, what does she have? 5 cards left and tags. Oh, good, Vicky. I'm glad you're loving the tag ideas, because tags... Now, what you could do on the back side if you wanted to, this is just an idea if you really wanted to dress it up, you could use this same background stamp, right? Just the same background stamp on here. But instead of doing the stenciling, you could just do a light ink blend of turquoise down the back. So then on the back, you would have all the elegant script, and on the front, you would have the actual design. And this way, the back of your tag would be jazzy too. But I'm going to make mine plain today, just because I still have one more that I want to show you. And then we have to do our greetings.
Are you using layering weight?
I'm using layering weight, yes. Now, I've got a little bit of ink on here because I had some ink on my plate. And I'll have to clean that off before I cut the next one. But that's all right. We won't worry about that. I will clean my plate, though. We gotta finish our tags off. Okay. I didn't nail that. So the beauty of the Gina K Designs dot runner is if you don't nail it perfectly the first time, you can pull the stuff apart and put it back together again. But then once you let it sit for a little bit, it becomes permanent. So I'll do my little tag top here. Again with this, everybody's going to run out to Walmart. Or I'm sure like Joann Fabrics has it. Maybe even Target would have it. It's really just like, it's like, what's that kind of, what's the man string, Tom? The kind of string that men have in the garage?
Twine?
Yeah, like jute twine, man string. So it's just kind of like white jute twine, but it's not jute. But it's the same kind of like, just a basic. So they have it in so many places. Man string.
No, I don't think I have any. I feel so inadequate.
What kind of man doesn't have jute twine in the...
Yeah, I gotta go home and...
You gotta buy that right away.
No, I probably do.
Yeah, butcher twine, that kind of stuff. I'm sure you do. Seriously, he's gonna stop at Home Depot. home and get some man string.
Man string. Phrase of the day.
I think you should ask when you get there too. Can you tell me what aisle the man string is and see what kind of look you get? I have jute twine too here in the craft room. It's not only for men. All right, Tom, while I'm trying to tie this, do you want to do your word of the day?
Okay, words of the day.
Words of the day, yes.
Words of the day. Here we go. Okay, so one of the, I think the funnest things for you is is like furniture.
I love furniture.
She'll see a spot in the house and say, oh, I know exactly what would go there. The perfect thing for that. And so that's an example of yearniture. When you really want something to fill that spot, and you know it would work there, that's yearniture. And then when you buy that thing and you later realize that, nah, not so much, it wasn't the right thing, that's an example of returniture. And then when something's been around for way, way, way past its prime and it's time, that's an example of burniture.
Very good.
Everything runs its course.
I love
Words of the day. Back to the dead space.
All right. Well, there you go. There's the tag, and then we're just gonna make some greetings right at the end as soon as we finish this last card. Those are great words, Tom. Tom asked me if I wanted to know the words of the day early, and I said, or word of the day early, and I said no, because I really enjoy the surprise with everybody else. And that was a very good one. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little bit of foiling. We're going to get our greetings done for these tags, and I'm going to do one of these Flurries Poly-Glaze sheets. Oh my gosh, burniture. We've had some burniture in our days, huh?
Yes, we have.
It's good. Good words. Very funny. So I'm going to move some of my things out of the way while this heats up, and then I am going to cut a couple of greetings out here. So I think I'm going to use Winter Wishes for the Snowflake one, because that feels right. And then Merry Christmas for, I'm going to do two Merry Christmases for the Poinsettia one and the other Poinsettia one that I'm going to do now. And also, I think I'm going to do And Happy New Year. I'll cut those out together. So this way we can have like an extra little bit on some of them. Okay. So I have some of the 14 karat foil here, and I have my Swiffer duster. I'm just going to put this back here for a second. And we're going to get one of these ready in the carrier sheet. We're going to start with the flurries because this is going to be the background.
Ruth wants to know, where could you put the to and the from?
The to and the from on the tag?
Yes.
Well, like in this case, I think I would just write it on the back. I would stamp a to and from and just put it on the back. Same with this one. I could put it right on this pocket that I made. But if you want and you have a to and a from that you could die cut or put a little panel on there, you could certainly throw it on the front instead of using a greeting like I'm going to do. And also, you know, I'm a big fan of, like, you know, if you bring something like a bag of cookies to somebody's house or a bottle of wine, just to put a big, bold, decorative tag on top when you're giving a housewarming gift, you really don't necessarily need to say to and from, because it's not something that, you know, you're putting a whole bunch of them under the tree and you have to remember which one is for who. So in that case, I think a simple, you know, Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever greeting you would want to use would suffice. So I used the Swiffer duster for the front of the Poly-Glaze and the back of the foil, and I'm going to lay those together here. And as long as all of the Poly-Glaze is covered, I'm okay. So even though that foil's a little smaller than my Poly-Glaze sheet, I'm not worried about it. Now, my light has turned green, and I'm going to feed this carrier sheet in fold side first through the machine. And while that's happening, I do have another carrier sheet here because I keep several of them, and I'm going to get some of these little greetings ready to go. So I just dropped one of them. So I'm going to cut this out. This is one of the Merry Christmas greetings.
Jenna wants to know, could you do the negative piece for the Merry Christmas rather than foiling 2 greetings?
Yeah, do you want me to do that? I can do that. Let me just find my white Poly-Glaze. I'm leaving again, but I'm coming back. All right, so I'll do one of them with the white Poly-Glaze. That's a great idea. So I'll save this Merry Christmas for another time, and I'll show you how to do that. But let me get the winter. Let's see, winter wishes. I don't need all of that.
And Ginny is asking, my GKD re-inkers came last night and stayed in the mailbox overnight. Do you think they freeze?
No, they'll be fine. Don't worry about that. I mean, think about, like, you know, they come all the way from the West Coast to us, and they stop in cold places along the way, and they stay in those trucks, and yeah, I wouldn't worry about that at all. They'll be fine.
They might just be a little annoyed.
They might be annoyed because I'm annoyed with the cold. All right, so I'm going to do this Merry Christmas here. Let me find that other one. I want to make sure that I have enough room around the outside. Yeah, I should on this one. You do want to cut it so there's enough room on the outside so that you can use the outside part of the foil. You know, you need enough room on the foil. I think this will be fine. If not, we'll just do the other one and I'll show that another time. But I think it's going to work out just fine. So we'll send this one through. Okay, and then we'll peel and reveal. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. That's stunning. Okay. And now while this one's going through, I'll get the next one ready. So we're going to do the Winter Wishes. Same thing. I always dust, especially because, I mean, I was just using embossing powder and embossing magic pad dust. So anywhere that dust would get between the foil and the design, it's not going to foil. So you really want to make sure you have a dust-free environment for this. And honestly, nothing in my life is a dust-free environment. So, you know, I gotta really have a Swiffer close by. All right, so we'll get the end Happy New Year here going.
So Stamp and Share purchased the clear Poly-Glaze, but she doesn't know how to use it. What would you suggest?
Sure, do you mean the white Poly-Glaze sheets? Is that what you're talking about? I think that's what you're talking about. So I'm going to show you how to use that right now, if that's what you're talking about. Okay, so there we have our Merry Christmas. And here we have our negative piece, Merry Christmas. Now I'm going to get a piece of white Poly-Glaze here. This is just white cardstock with a clear Poly-Glaze coating. And I'm going to cut a piece of Poly-Glaze so it fits this greeting. So that should do it. Now, you want to look for the shine of the Poly-Glaze. Make sure you're not using the back of the Poly-Glaze because that's just plain white cardstock. Okay. So now this is coming out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to once again dust the back of this one. This is what we peeled off of here. We're going to dust the back, and we're going to dust the front of the plain polyglaze, the white polyglaze. We call it white polyglaze because it's on white cardstock, but it's actually clear.
Okay, Shirley is asking, will it fix a wrinkled carrier sheet to run it through again? I don't want to ruin my fuse.
Yes, if you wrinkle up your carrier sheet, just put your setting up to 5 so it's super hot, and then run it through like 4 or 5 times, and that'll flatten it back out again. Okay, so now we have the winter wishes here. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. Now this one's coming out the other side.
Rose says, I am confused. I thought we had to cover all the polyglaze, whether in black or white with the foil. You keep having some white or black sticking out.
If you're doing a greeting like this, there's only polyglaze on the greeting. So if the white is sticking out around the outside, there's no polyglaze there. You just have to cover the polyglaze. Same here. The design doesn't go to the edge, so as long as all of the stars and dots are covered with foil, you're fine. But if you have design going off the edge and you only put the foil to here, this polyglaze is going to melt and stick to your carrier sheet. So it's not about covering the white paper, it's about covering the white polyglaze.
Okay, let's clear something up. Stamp and Share is saying, clear designer toner sheets, Deco foil clear toner sheets.
Oh, the clear toner sheets are just clear acetate, but you can print on them with a toner printer if you have one, like a laser printer. Otherwise, I just use those for shaker cards or anytime I want like a clear panel. They don't foil. They'll only foil if you do something to them, like you put Deco foil transfer gel over them or you run them through a laser printer with your own design. That's what the clear sheets are. They're just clear acetate, but they're heat-resistant acetate, so they work with a toner printer. So hopefully that makes sense. I use those all the time with my shaker cards. Okay, so now we've got that design, and we're going to cut that out with the same die that we're going to cut this one out with. So they're going to get cut with the same die. And then here's that tiny greeting, just to add that into the mix. Happy New Year. Okay, I'm going to put all these aside, and I'm going to turn this off so that we can do our next stenciling. So I'm going to stencil over this design with that big poinsettia flower. And I think it would be fun to use the carnations and make a pink one. That would be a good one for Rena, but I gotta find my pink inks. I need another ink pad holder because my inks all don't fit in my ink pad holder. Okay, so here we go. I've got the light carnation, the medium carnation, and the dark carnation. So we're gonna do those three layers, and we're gonna use the perfect poinsettia layering stencil. So I'm gonna start with layer 1. That's down here. Layer 1. And if we're going to make this a tag, then I'm going to offset this a little bit. We might be making this one a tag. And I'm going to use the lightest color first, which is the light carnation.
Leanne wants to know what happens if you get toner from the toner sheet on your carrier sheet.
Nothing, really. It's black and it'll be sticky. So every time you run it through, your carrier sheet will stick together where the black is, and you got to kind of like wedge it apart. So it's not the end of the world, but it's just annoying. Now we sell carrier sheets too, so if you ruined one or you like to have backups, like I like to have a few of them going, so when I'm working I can use more than one. It's not a bad idea to have some backups. All right, so I'm starting with the light carnation here, kind of going around the perimeter. This will be Rena's card. I'll give Alicia Rena's tag. I'll give Alicia the one with the red poinsettias. And I'm not 100% sold on that sweater one yet. I love that sweater stamp, but I'm not 100% sold on that one. I told you I was going to try that for the first time, and that might be too dense of a stamp to give that delicate look that I was going for, but it's still not bad. It's pretty, but it's still not exactly what I was looking for. Okay, so there we have layer 1. I'm going to pull that off. And you can see by like ink blending right over the Poly-Glaze does not change the shine at all. You still have all that gorgeous shine in there. So now we're going to go to layer 2. And I have to make sure that oh, see, I had it backwards. There it is. Always make sure you have it going in the right direction. There we go. And you'll be able to see where to line that up. That looks good. Okay. And this one I'm going to use the medium Carnation. Here's this one. That one was touching a darker blending brush, but that's all right. Okay, here we go. Oh, I love this color. These pinks are so vibrant. All right. There we go. There's layer 2. Now, I'm going to add layer 4. Is this layer 4 or layer 3? Let me see. Oh, this is layer 3. So I'm going to pop this into the center here. The reason why we separated this out is because it couldn't really be cut without this whole thing like falling out. Plus, it gives you the option to use a completely different color in here, but I'm going to use the same color. But see, it was too tight next to some of these to be able to put them all on the same layer. So you could certainly use the same color, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the same color in here, medium Carnation. And that'll just fill in that center that's missing. There we go. See, now it's really starting to look like a poinsettia, right? And now I'm going to use this with the dark Carnation. I'll tell you another color that looks really great with these carnations, especially for this layer, is Faded Brick. Faded Brick really gives you a pretty, like if you want darker veins on your poinsettia. But let's go with the dark Carnation because I think it's going to look great. And it's definitely one of the trios, and it's made to work together. So here we go. Oh, that's so nice. This color is gorgeous. I think this would be a great red to use too as a lighter version of red for red velvet, or, you know, even red hot, cherry red. If you're looking for a lighter red. It's the darkest Carnation, but it's definitely a lighter red. All right, and now ready for the magic. This is so pretty. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Ooh, I love that one. Okay, so again, you know, all of that, and we still have all that sparkle and shine. I love that one. Love that. So this would be a really pretty card. Should we just turn this one into a card, or should we make it a tag? You guys decide while I'm getting rid of all of the excess ink that's laying on top of the foil, just with a paper towel.
And also, Julie wants to know, what do you use to clean the stencils?
Oh, I just use water, or you can use alcohol. That will work too. Look at that. Yeah, you can just use a little bit of rubbing alcohol. The one thing, I know people are spraying alcohol, and that's fine to do if you want to spray it. If you have any like lung issues or anything like that, I wouldn't spray it. I would just take a little rubbing alcohol like this and just kind of put it on your paper towel so you're not making a mist. The other thing you have to be careful of, which I don't think that everybody realizes, is most of the companies have their ink color screened onto their lid. And if you get rubbing alcohol on there, it'll take the ink off of your ink pad lid. So just be aware of that. So when you're spraying, that spray could land on your ink pads that are still out on your desk, and that could be a problem. But you can see how like just a little bit of rubbing alcohol will just clean it right off. Makes it like new. So just something to consider if you're thinking about spraying alcohol versus just kind of like taking it out of the bottle. All right, so did we decide? Okay, card. I see a card. I see
by far the card.
The card, by far. Okay. All right. So I can always put a gift card in a card for Rena. I do like this one. So I'm going to clean my plate here with a little rubbing alcohol just to make sure that I get off any ink. Because sometimes, you know, if I didn't get all the ink off of the surface of the card, there might be a little bit of ink residue on my plate somewhere. So I'm just cleaning it off with a little alcohol. And the other thing that's good about cleaning it off with alcohol versus like water is alcohol evaporates so quickly that the chance that I'll wet the cardstock using it is, you know, pretty minimal. All right, so I'm going to use Master Layouts 2 for this. I know I have it around here somewhere. Here it is. Master Layouts. Nope, that's the tag. Here it is. Master Layouts 2. And then I also need the word dies. So we'll cut out all the words. Okay. Let me get the machine back in the mix. Here she is. I've got Masking Magic stuck to me. Oh my gosh, Donna, that's so funny. Donna's like, maybe alcohol out of a spray bottle will cure my COVID. I'm sorry you have COVID, Donna. That's so tough. But that was a pretty funny comment. All right, so I'm going to cut this out like this. I think I'll just put a little piece of Masking Magic there. And we'll go ahead and cut it. Alicia she hasn't done a live, no. My daughter Alicia hasn't done a live with me. Alicia went to school in New York to become a filmmaker and an artist. And a long time ago, Alicia had a modeling career. She was a model. And we decided, and then she learned very quickly that life is a tough life, and so she was more interested when she was modeling with the camera. Like every time she would go on a modeling job, she was more interested in seeing the camera and what the camera was doing and how that all worked. And we found out quickly that Alicia really prefers to be on the other side of the camera. So Alicia's welcome to come live with me anytime she wants, but it's not really what she likes. She would prefer to run the controls. I think she'd prefer to be in the dead space, wouldn't you say, Tom?
It's possible, yes.
Yeah. So, but she did do a video once with Rena, so I know that that's on Rena's channel, and they just did some watercoloring together, and they were cute and funny together for sure. But again, I think Alicia would prefer to be running the controls and running the camera. All right, so let's cut this Merry Christmas out. Oh, here I am. Remember I said on Tuesday night, oh, I got to remember to clean out this die? Well, I didn't remember to clean it out. So let me do that real quick here. Okay, so we're going to cut this one out first. And I think we'll use this one on the card. And then we'll use the reverse one on the tag. So we'll cut this one. I know I could cut a bunch of them at once, but I feel like I'm not as good doing that. Connie, your daughter went to school for film too? That's cool. Lady filmmakers. That's what we need more of. The lady filmmaker who made the Barbie movie is awesome. Okay, so there we go. We have a Merry Christmas there. And now we're going to cut that other one. So let's get that in position, and hopefully there's enough space for it. I think there will be. But you see what I mean? You got to have like enough room for the outside too. I guess you do on either direction. If you're using the positive or the negative, you've got to have enough space to cut it out. But hopefully this will work. Okay, here we go. I love bling and shine on my cards too. Okay, let's see what this one looks like now. Ooh. Gotta poke that out there. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So you definitely can use the negative piece with the Poly-Glaze. So you get 2 for 1. For every one that you make, you can get 2 different greetings. So it saves money too. All right, now we need the winter wishes. So we'll cut that one out next. This will be for the snowflake that I'm not 100% on. But we're going to finish it. We're going to follow through. And then we're going to blinger just a little bit. We have a giveaway today too, so I hope you will stay for that. Yeah, Poly-Glaze is fun. Now you can also do the negative in black by using toner sheets, and that looks really great too. So if you're not looking for the white, pick up those black toner sheets we talked about. There we go. There's the Winter Wishes. And I think that one will look really pretty on that snowflake. And then we'll add some gold bling onto the snowflake to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. All right, and then we just have to cut out this skinny greeting, the "And Happy New Year." So which one is that? I think that's this one. Nope, that's not that one, is it? No. Let me flip it around. No. So there's only 2. I didn't put them in the right places on the board. So our die sets that coordinate with our stamp sets have a magnetic storage board. They come with this magnetic board. And I would recommend, to make it easier for yourself, to set up the magnets in the same orientation as the stamp set so you can find the right die in the right spot on the magnetic board. Now, I make that suggestion, but do I follow it? No, and I should. So, but that definitely will help. Okay. So now it's putting this card together and then adding a little bling. Okay, so there is the "And Happy New Year." Pretty. All right, I can move this out of the way now once and for all, and we can assemble the card. So for this card, I think I really like Innocent Pink with the carnations. I think it's a great color. However, I don't have any here. So let me just take a look at, no, I don't like Dusty Rose. Okay, so I don't have any Innocent Pink cardstock. Let me just take a peek in my stash over here. Ooh, 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 ooh. I have one. I have one. So I'm going to use Innocent Pink for that card base. Doesn't that look nice together? I think that's such a nice combo. And then I have to find my scoreboard. I know it's here somewhere under all the mess. Here it is. So let's score this, and we'll put this card together first, and then we'll add those greetings onto the tags. So we'll score this at 5.5 inches. That's on my list. I need to pick up some innocent pink cardstock. And I kind of like the idea that it's a not a traditional color card for the holidays, but that's okay because, you know, my daughter Rena, she would have a pink Christmas tree if she could. She would have pink and yellow everything. And sometimes that's kind of fun. It's just different, non-traditional. And pink is always pretty. So we'll put that there. And then this will go on top. So these are pretty easy cards to make. And if you love the foil, you could have done the Poly-Glaze background on all of these tags and created that same look on all of them. So let's use some foam squares to pop this greeting up. Boy, Tom, I wish you had another word of the day. Uh-oh. He might, you never know.
Why? Too much dead space?
Too much dead space for me. I like lively space. I like when you're in the mix more. I like having you in. You're funny. You make everybody laugh. We love Tom, right? All right, now where the heck did I put my... Here they are. Oh, my tweezers. So for this one, I'm going to put this just kind of staggered off to one side, and then I'm going to add that second little greeting on here too. So it'll say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So I'll put that right there. That'll look good. And then we'll add this one. This needs some little halfsies. I cut my foam squares in half for these skinnier types of greetings. We don't need a ton, but just a little bit. So I guess I'm gonna have to start doing some Christmas shopping soon. I have not been Christmas shopping. I've been shopping for myself, buying things I want, crafty things, but I have not done much Christmas shopping, and I need to get on it. Are you guys done Christmas shopping, or am I not alone? There we go. Okay, so there they are. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Ooh, some people are done with their Christmas shopping. Rockstar. Okay, so I think for this one, my only bling is I'm going to accent. Oh, here we go. I got to really find the small ones here. I'm going to accent the center of these little poinsettias with just a couple little gold.
Don't we have a ho 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 stamp?
We do.
Yeah, you haven't used that yet.
I haven't used a ho 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 stamp.
Ho ho ho. Hey, so what does this? What do you remember? What this is from? Ho ho ho. What's next?
And a bottle of rum.
No. Think back. Ho ho ho. That doesn't ring a bell to you?
No.
Anybody? Ho ho ho. What comes next? From those 1970s commercials. Here we go. They're coming in now.
Somebody
Netta
knows?
and Renee and that's Ho 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 Green Giant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
That's going way back.
That's
Ho,
going
ho,
way
ho,
back,
Green
yeah.
So I wonder if the Green Giant ever got a cease and desist letter from Santa Claus. you imagine that? I could see him getting all angry,
Yeah.
kicking over a tractor.
Getting mad, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's my line. A cease and desist. Did you all know Tom was a lawyer in his previous life? He was.
I'm exhausted.
He was a lawyer in his previous life till I swindled him away from the law world and asked him if he wanted to come and make rubber stamps in our warehouse.
My Sicilian wife made me an offer I could not refuse.
There you go. And Tom gave up the law life for the stamp life. And I think he's happier. Are you happier?
I am happier.
Yeah. That's a hard life.
Love the family business.
Yeah.
It's
And it's a hard...
believe it or not, it's a lot crazier in some ways.
Yeah, it's true.
There's a lot more bases to cover.
But it's nicer. I mean, there's not as many arguments, right?
There are as many arguments. Sometimes more difficult arguments.
It's true. That is true, sometimes. Okay. So here's the reverse one. We're going to pop that right down here in this space. Oh, look how pretty that is. So I did some of the little shinies in the center there. Little metallic pearls, and then use the metallic Merry Christmas. I feel like that really kind of jazzed that up. All right, and then we're going to use this one. Again, I'm not 100% sold on this one. I feel like we got to really I don't know. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I'm not going to do it. I don't like it. As much as I want to like it, I feel like I don't see enough definition. I love the background though. It's so pretty. Like this would have been a great background to have something in the foreground. You know what I'm saying? Like if we had like a flower like that.
I'm just my 2 cents, but I think silver bow, and more black and silver shiny bling.
Okay, so how about if we still make this you know what, I know you said silver, but I can't do silver at this point because my greeting's already gold. But I think you're right. I
Well,
think
you could
silver
save
would
it
have
for
been...
another day.
I could, but
You were getting ready to pitch it,
I know,
weren't
but
you?
then I put this flower on top and I loved the way it looked.
Oh, all right.
So
Back
I'm gonna go
to the dead space.
I'm gonna go with it. You're right, Tom. There is just as much arguing. So
More,
I'm putting this flower on here.
I used to win more, though.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. Okay, so I'm gonna do that because it's a tag, so things can hang off the edge. I'm gonna do this. This is from the Wishful Flowers Stamp and Die bundle. And this actually has Poly-Glaze to go with it too. So we could have even done Poly-Glaze. But I think that's going to be really pretty. And I think it's going to save the tag. So, sorry, Tom. You are right. The purples definitely lend themselves. The purples and turquoise definitely lend themselves more to silver than gold. And I do have this ribbon in silver too. So I should have consulted you earlier, but I think this is going to look really cool.
I say that to all the lawyers I work with now.
What do you say?
I should have consulted you earlier.
Yeah. There's always a problem, right? Mm-hmm. Always something going on. But it's good because you speak legalese and I don't, and that is not my forte for sure. So I am very glad. Oh, that's going to be pretty. See? We saved it. That's going to be really pretty. There's always a way. Always a way to save it. So this is Wishful Flowers. It's an older Stamp and Die bundle. Does have Poly-Glaze to go with it. I'm sure Brianne is already on it. Like, she was probably on it before I even decided to do this. But you could have done the flower in Poly-Glaze, so it would have had a gold outline, but instead we're just going to put a big gold gem right in the center of this flower. This is a great use of some of these bigger metallic pearls. You see that? I thought it was on there. There we go. A great use of that. And look, we saved it. And it still has that wintry look because that Snowflake is sweater material back there. So now I love it. I went from not liking it at all and ready to abandon it to just loving it. The colors I used on here are powder blue and the medium lilac. But you see, it still coordinates really nice with this purple because I kind of mixed turquoise and purple together. So these colors are actually in there somewhere. So that all worked out really nicely. And I think we saved it. All right, so there are the 3 projects for today. Let me just push that out of the way. That's how I clean. There we go. So there are 3 projects, mixing old and new together and creating some fun quick cards and tags. Now, you know, when you're trying to figure out what to do, it doesn't feel really quick, right? It's like, oh, should I use this? Should I use that? But once you have these designs down and you know what you're doing, these really do come together relatively quickly. And you can do a whole bunch of them at the same time. So you could do a bunch of the Poly-Glaze sheets, lay them out, take layer 1 of the stencil and go straight across and do 3 or 4 at a time. So it's not, these can be mass produced relatively quickly. All right, so the poinsettia tag is your favorite? All right, yeah, everybody tell me which your favorite is here, because I'm sure based on colors and, you know, just the look of them that everybody has a favorite. So let us know what your favorite is. And in the meantime, Tom, we need to give away a gift card.
Yes.
So we're going to give away a $15 gift card to Gina K Designs. It never expires, so you can use it whenever you want. All right, Tom.
They are very eye-opening creations. They're bright.
They're bright.
Okay, here we go. Big drum roll, please. The winner today is Laura Stahl. Laura Stahl.
Yay, Laura. Congratulations. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@GinaK.
Say that again. Send your...
Did you hit the horn again?
No.
Oh.
Our crowd was taking over.
Oh, they were still cheering? All you have to do is send your name and your email address, Laura, to info@GinaKDesigns.com, and we will get that gift card out to you. Well, everybody, this was so much fun. We really appreciate you making time in your day for us. Tom and I will be back next Tuesday night with another Stamp and Chat Live. And in the meantime, stay safe and healthy. Oh, you know what? We should let people know. We have a Facebook group. If you're not part of it, we'd love to have you over there. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. And a big shout out to Brianne Loveland for linking everything. Brianne, thank you for being here and always helping us out. She's like lightning fast too. But if you missed any of the links and you'd like to just browse the store, you can find everything you've seen here today at GinaKDesigns.com. And if you like the video, and we sure hope that you have, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up, give us a like, and if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss another video. Tom and I will be back next Tuesday night with another Stamp and Chat Live. In the meantime, stay safe and warm, stay healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.